was that the stuff is in the house. You told me that it was accidentally delivered and it was in the garage.
No, I
And
didn't say it was in the garage. Oh, no. I never
Whatever's
said that.
left in there is staying in there. So I'm putting cameras up and a security system. I have to start putting stuff in the driveway and so that I can lock it up, because once I leave, you're not going to be able to get back. Hi, this is Flash from the United Handyman Association with Handyman Answers. I'd like to talk to you today about how to prevent squatters. But first, I'd like to say that if you like what I'm doing, you like my videos, if I've said anything or done anything that has helped you, for you to say thanks, I'd appreciate you subscribing and liking my videos. That's a way that you can thank me. Now, to prevent squatters, the first thing you need to understand is how you can get squatters in the first place. Getting a squatter, in my case, the mistake I made was telling the officers that the house was vacant. Therefore, as soon as they saw people inside, furniture inside, they right away assumed that they're living there. And since my house, according to me, was vacant, empty, if there's furniture in there, it must belong to them. So the officers right away know that they have no jurisdiction and they must be squatters or tenants, and therefore they have the rights, not me. That was my mistake. Squatters can become squatters as renters that decide not to leave. They can be house guests. They can be family members. I've had people write me about a daughter or a son that just won't leave the house, and they're considered squatters. The other thing that could happen is you could leave the house just to go on vacation, and somebody can move into your house, and when you get back, they're squatters. What makes them a squatter? The squatter in some places is given squatter rights if they've been at a location a certain amount of time. But typically, if you can prove that they just broke in, they don't have any rights at all. The best way to do that is with Wi-Fi cameras. I would say make sure that your home, whether it's the home you live in, your rental property, your vacation home, make sure that you have cameras set up with Wi-Fi. That way you can monitor those cameras no matter where you live. If you live in the same town or you live across the country or in a different country, you can still monitor that house. An alarm system. Have an alarm system, have monitoring set up to where if somebody goes into the house when you're on vacation or you are at the grocery store, whatever it is, an alarm goes off. If you have a monitored armed response, go to the location, and since you've now caught them in the act, there is no possible way for them to become squatters. Some people have commented on my videos talking about how they are afraid now to buy a house for a rental, or they are afraid to go on vacation. I had somebody say they can't go on vacation anymore because they're afraid of squatters. Bottom line is just set your home up so that you can catch them entering the home. If you catch them entering the home, it's breaking and entering, you name it, there are laws to prevent that. Just make sure that you can catch them as they enter the property so that they don't actually become squatters, therefore getting squatter rights. Another idea would be to set up automatic timers for lights, make it seem like somebody's home. We've all learned about that a long time ago. We were told, just have lights go on randomly so that burglars don't think that we're gone, so that they don't break into our house to steal things. Well, now these burglars are actually stealing our houses, so it's the same thing applies. You can have lights going on and off. You can park a car in the driveway, just making the appearance, even if you're not there, that somebody that doesn't know that you're gone, the random person driving by, isn't going to think that your house is vacant. Maintaining your property would be another thing. Making sure that your grass is not overgrown, making it look like your house hasn't been abandoned. I understand this is difficult, especially when you have a death in the family, like in my case. Some of you saw my video. I wasn't the best at that. The property wasn't kept up. I was too far away. There wasn't anything being done on the outside of the house to take care of that and maintain it more than once a month. So I'm guilty of that. So maybe that would be another thing to address so that the random person in that neighborhood, whether it's a small town like my case or a large town, isn't going to look at a property and just right away wonder why it's not boarded up because it looks vacant. The other thing would be if you have a rental property or you have a house that you're trying to sell, don't list the address like I did. Make sure you hire either a realtor or a management company that's professional enough to be set up to where they can list the property without actually disclosing the address until they have already screened the applicants. There are systems set up now where you actually have to go on and pre-qualify, submit your information. They ask for a copy of your driver's license, everything, so that before you actually get the address and you can meet them at the home or view the home or anything like that, they have all of your information. A few times I've seen comments on my video about put locks, put big locks, put an extra deadbolt, do all that stuff. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that your door locks don't matter. Doesn't matter how many locks. You can have 10 locks on the same door jamb, and that door jamb is just as weak as if you have one lock in that door jamb, okay? The door jamb is what breaks, it's not the lock. People, they try to sell you these locks and they talk about the security issue of it, but think about it. Just use your head a little bit, okay? The lock goes into a door jamb. The door jamb actually breaks out. The lock is never the thing that's broken. So keeping that in mind when you're trying to go in thinking that it's going to help when you add a bunch of locks. And besides that, anyone that wants in that house, they're going to get in that house one way or another. Whether they break a window or they go to the back door and break the back door in like they did in my case, they're going to get in the house. That's not going to be a deterrent. So don't think that if you just secure the house better, that that's going to help, because that is not going to help in any way. If they want in your house, they're going to get in your house. The point is, like number one, make sure that you can just catch them going into the house. That's what's going to work. Inform your neighbors. Ask your neighbors. Let them know the situation. Let them know that the house is vacant. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to friends. Somebody that can check on the home. Hire a handyman to go by and check on the property. Maintain the property. Flush the toilets every once in a while. Turn on and off the lights. Check everything. Water the grass. Whatever they need to do to check the property. Your handyman would be a good resource for that. But also talk to your neighbors, because the neighbors are the ones that are going to notice the day-to-day changes. So if they see a strange car pull in the driveway, or they see a light come on during a time when the lights aren't supposed to come on, or they see somebody at the house, that they don't just assume that it's cousin Bob visiting from out of town and you just didn't tell them. Talk to your neighbors. They can be a good resource. Also a handyman. So remember, there's no way you can prevent a squatter. Just never leave your home. Just kidding. Just remember all of the previous stuff that I just talked about. Keep the squatters from becoming squatters in the first place, and all is well. You're going to rent your house. You're going to sell your house. And remember, if you do have squatters, I'll help you get them out. This is Flash with Handyman Answers. Happy home repairs and squatter prevention. Bye.